Chapter 8, Competency-Based Training Process. This chapter demonstrates on how to develop a flowchart, which also gives hints to the next section of the training. Each identified step within the flowchart will be discussed over the following days.
It is about the thing that we need to consider and seek on before we deliver the trainings in the flowchart. It's quite easy because if we know in overall the overview what do we want to do in our trainings, so we can make our process step by step. What need to be set up first until from the beginning until the end.
The next thing we asked them to do was we asked them to become a little bit more intimate with their competency, because in trying to understand what the assessment tasks are of the competency, then the way that a competency is written is that it enables you to go to the unit variable and assessment guide, and then if you read through that area, you come to a heading called Critical Aspects of Assessment. The next thing we did is that we asked them to think about assessment. Now, we used assessment and we had two words. We had the assessment method and we had the assessment instrument. So we wanted to make certain that in the competency there is a heading, suitable assessment methods. The assessment instrument or tool is the actual document that you use to gather the evidence on that a person is capable of doing the competency.
It's very clear what the assessment method we have to use, refer to which element. That means we want to assess them to know about the knowledge, skill, which one that we should apply. Observation, assessment method, or oral question, or written question.
We then moved on because it became obvious that when you look at a competency, there are quite a number of elements, and in one case, I think there's 9 elements in provide food and beverage service, and there are some maybe 30 performance criteria. Now, some people were thinking, do I have to assess every one of those? Then the answer is no, you don't. What you need to do as the trainer, and you need to go to the critical aspects of assessment section, which is in the competency. And you will find inside that, or underneath that heading, in most cases, not more than 4 dot points.
Critical aspect of assessment. So this is that if we want to apply the training methods in our session, it's easy to reach to the objective because we know clearly about the competency standard and we analyze in each element and performance criteria, and then we apply with the method in order to let the trainee can participate, can perform their task, and finally they get competence.
After the students had completed their activities on analysing a competency standard, our next phase was to look at the writing of an objective, a performance-based objective. Now, on the whiteboard, I drew a triangle, and at the top of the triangle, I put the word terminal, and at the base, I put the word enabling. So on one side of the triangle, I also put competency, and I wrote the name of a competency. So I wanted to see the students understood that there is a similarity between the way that a competency is written and a performance-based objective. We asked the students about their knowledge of performance-based objective, and we ended up finding that there was some knowledge of them, and a student was able to tell us that a performance-based objective consists of three parts: the performance or the action that is required, the condition under which the work is to be done, and to the standard.
I understand my objective, and to reach my objective, we have performance, we have condition, we have standard.
After we had a discussion on the various training methods, we asked the students to go back into their competency groups, and in their competency groups, what we wanted them to do was to look at the skills and knowledge that they had, the performances that they'd identified, the skill performance or the knowledge performance, and then we asked them to try and match the most suitable teaching method for skill and the most suitable teaching method for knowledge.
We have to read carefully with the competency, read element, read performance criteria in each element, and then we analyze. We have to select or we have to apply which teaching method in each element of performance criteria in order to get, the last stage is the trainee have competence.